Good morning, it's Barbara. I don't think it's very lovely out. It's not very sunny, but I'm going out anyway. But first, I'm going to show you that I did some spinning last night. I did not finish the whole 75 grams. I still have this to do. This is a little bit of what I'm calling a fractal spin. It might not technically be, but I'm just doing bits and pieces, and it will match the bobbin that I did the other day with the pink first, and then the multicolored, and then the dark red. And then I'm gonna apply them. When I'm done with this, I'll need this to rest a little bit. The other one's been resting. And yeah, so I did some spinning last night, and I did some knitting during the Zoom. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. I thought I would try this NYX Smooth Whip with this orange. Now this is an orangey red. We'll see how it goes. I'm very prepared to hate it. Ooh, but I don't. I don't hate it. So we had a wonderful Zoom yesterday. I'm so sorry if you wanted to come and couldn't. We had a very, very lively and lovely conversation. A lot of knitting and crochet content. Sometimes we do things, we're doing talking all kinds of stuff. Of course, it wasn't only that. Yeah, I like that. We had some new people, and it was wonderful. And throughout the course of the conversation, because one of the things we do is we go around and ask everybody what they're working on. I hearted at least three patterns on Ravelry yesterday, and I bought a pattern for crochet granny squares, and I forget the name of it, and I have to go back and download it because I didn't do that today, and I was just there. I have this idea I want to, crochet more than just the big granny square blanket, which I am, it's a king size blanket, so that's a lot of crochet. So I am crocheting, but so I got that one, and then I hearted a couple of them, and people were working on beautiful things. My problem is that these guys are understandably making, for the most part, summer sweaters. And I am not making summer sweaters because I find that I am very rarely wearing my summer sweaters. And I don't know why. I feel like they're fancy in a way that my winter sweaters aren't fancy. I mean, every day during sweater weather, I get up and I put on a sweater that I made. Period. That's what I wear. I wear sweaters that I made. For some reason in the summertime, I do not do that. I don't know. I feel like I'm messier in the summer, and I drip on things, and I don't want to get my sweaters messy, and they feel more delicate. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I do not find myself wearing my summer sweaters. I haven't worn a single summer sweater yet. I have one sweater that's sort of my go-to summer sweater if I'm dressing nice. If I'm going somewhere and I want to dress nice, I have a gorgeous Summer Breeze that I made. Pretty sure it's called Summer Breeze by Marcella Chang. And I love that sweater. It was made out of Yakagani yarn. It's got silk in the blend, and in the color Koi, Koi, goldfishy. Love, love, love the sweater. I have never worn that without getting multiple compliments. It's a beautiful sweater. It's very fancy. I love the way it fits me. I love the way it looks. And I wear that if I'm, dressing up a little bit in the summertime. And I have another one that I really like that got torn and I haven't fixed. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, I do not put a sweater on every day. You have not seen a sweater yet on this vlog because I just don't wear my summer sweaters. So anyway, so I'm really loving what people are making, but I'm not going to make a summer sweater. Let's face facts. So one of the patterns that I favorited was the light bright. It is the DK version of this pattern. Now there's a fingering version, and Susan told me what it was called, and I forgot to write it down, and I have a memory of a goldfish. But it's like very light bright or whatever. But anyway, there's a fingering version of this. So the Susan was making the fingering version of this. And it's a fade, as you can see, and she was doing it in beautiful colors, and it was really cute, and I really liked it. But I realized I don't want to make a fingering version of that. But I saw that it had a DK version, and so I favorited it. And the lovely Dory sent it to me yesterday. Thank you so much, my dear. That was such a sweet thing to do. And truth be told, when I read the pattern, because I had asked Susan, is it mosaic? And she didn't know, but indicated maybe yes. And it turns out it's not. It's color work. But it's so simple, and it's just these sort of transition areas as you're transitioning from one yarn to the other. But it is color work. Is it possible? Excuse me, I'm just seeing my lipstick. That I might make a color work sweater? I mean, this has got to be the most entry-level color work. I have made a color work sweater. I made the Navali by, I forget. And hated every minute of it. Hated it. It's a beautiful sweater. It turned out just like, but anyway, so this feels like an entry-level color work to me. So I'm thinking. And the first thing I thought of when I saw this was I could make that out of my handspun, because now I'm doing handspun. And I do have a cubby in my cubbies that is my handspun. I mean, I've been spinning. So I will make this long sleeved because I don't really wear short sleeve sweaters in the winter time. But I think this would be very easy to add. Just make those sleeves longer. I don't see any reason why. Now, I haven't printed out the whole pattern. But, oh yeah, the sleeves are adaptable, allowing for both short and long variations. A folded ribbing collar provides a refined detail. Anyway, I really liked it. I like the idea of the ombre or the color changes, the fade, and it did make me think, because I think I misspoke yesterday. I haven't measured yet, but I think my yarns that I am spinning are closer to DK than fingering. Anyway, so this is what I'm thinking, and that thought might just inform my choices of fiber as I go forward, because I picked out a fiber from my cupboard yesterday of red to be my next color. But maybe I'm going to go back into my fiber closet and do a little better color matching and think about what I want to do. Thank you, Dory. That was the sweetest thing. That was the sweetest thing. And it's got me thinking. But I was knitting on my Oh, before I leave the conversation about spinning, I wasn't able to find my nitty naughty. Oh, did I say I'm Barbara? Hello, thanks for joining me for coffee. 10 minutes. So I had no idea where my nitty naughty was, and I assumed it was in my craft room because I can picture where it was in my old craft room, but I hadn't remembered seeing it. And so I'm sitting in there and I'm looking around like crazy, and there aren't a lot of spots it can be because the nitty naughty is an interesting, well, spoiler alert, I found it. But a nitty naughty is interesting because it has the two sets of arms, but they are perpendicular to each other. So it so it doesn't lie flat anywhere, because of the two arms. And I had it hooked over my the top of my bookshelf, and it worked great in the other room, but it wasn't there. And so Enid gave me a hard time. Said I should be searching, not just looking. So I searched, Enid. Now this is sticking out. I wonder, I had trouble getting it out from where it was. So I searched. It wasn't in my craft room. Now, keeping in mind, thinking of this situation where I was spinning 2 years ago during the Tour de France. And that's when I spun the orange singles. And eventually I had to move, and I stopped spinning for whatever reason. And I had to move the wheel because there really wasn't room. There were 3 of us trying to sit in the living room, or I had a recliner. And so there just wasn't room. So the wheel went upstairs and was either in my craft room or in Nora's sitting room, because she doesn't really use it all. She wasn't getting around really. But the box of spindles and bobbins, box of bobbins and all that stuff was in the dining room. And so I was thinking, but it doesn't make sense because that dining room was clear in November because I had Thanksgiving dinner on that table. And spoiler alert, I'm planning to have Thanksgiving dinner on that table again. So so I had to clear it out. But to be honest, a lot of ways that gets cleared out at Thanksgiving is it just got piled in Dennis's office until dinner was over, and then we put it back in the dining room. So we're talking 2 years ago, this stuff was downstairs. So this is such an odd shape. And I'm like, it's got to be in a corner somewhere or something because it wasn't on the table. Anyway, I found it. It was on the window seat in the living room, tucked behind the Christmas tree. Now, I brought this down 2 years ago, and somehow it ended up behind the Christmas tree. And I found it. So there you go. In it, I searched. But I'm very glad I found it because I think today I'm going to skein up those 2 yarns that I plied. And this is going to be fun to think about when I'm done. Am I going to knit a sweater? Because I have never knit a sweater with my hand spun. I do believe I incorporated a little bit of hand spun into something, but I'm not sure. I've made shawls with my hand spun, but I haven't made a sweater. And yeah, and I think that would be fun. So I don't know that I'm going to actually spin that red that I brought down. I'm going to go back up into my cupboard. I'm going to take what I have, go back up into my closet. I have a whole closet full of fiber. I have lots of natural colored fibers. I do like a natural colored fiber. So certainly a natural colored fiber would work really well at the top and then go into some colors. So, and I have to get the rest of the pattern out to see how much yarn I need. Anyway, while we were talking on the Zoom, I was knitting. Oh, that's a loud bird. I was knitting on my Daft Days cardigan, and I put in the yellow, the cream, and the light pink. And now I've got to measure and figure out where I am and what's next, because I'm soon going to probably have to do something, and I don't want to, you know, I need to pay attention. Although now that I'm looking at this, I don't even have my stupid pattern in my bag anymore. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know. So anyway, that's it. So I was knitting on the Zoom. The Zoom was wonderful. Dory is a sweetheart. This is now in my queue to knit. Maybe next after the Daft Days is finished. I am in the middle of a scarf I made with that beautiful yarn that Lisa gave me, and Marianne gave me the pattern. It's a Hohi Locatelli that I can never remember the name of. And I got to a place where I had to think, and I stopped because I wasn't in a thinking mood. But I'm doing more thinking these days, which seems like a good thing. So I've got to pick that up too. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm doing the Daft Days cardigan because it was relatively easy, straightforward, definitely easy pattern. You just do it. You don't have to think about it. And it was bottom up. So I didn't have to think about the neck and everything when I first started. So it was very similar to when I used to pick up and knit a boxy, you know. So served the same purpose. So anyway, that's what's happening with me. We had a lovely, lovely time. Other than that, I made my lemon juice and I spun. So yesterday was a great day. It was a very nice day. So I had 2 really good days in a row. That's good. Today, it's muggy out here. I will not be outside. It is so close. I think Dennis is going to go visit his mom today. And I probably will end up making more crackers because we keep eating them. And I need to make bigger batches, but what I make just fits in the oven on the trays I have and everything. So probably not changing that anytime too soon. But I'm going to spin. I want to finish spinning the spin that I'm working on now. And I may take a gander at my closet and take a, you know, sort of plan ahead, you know, work on my light bright while I'm working on my Daft Days. You know, that works. So anyway, that's what's up with me. I'm feeling pretty good. And, but it's hot and muggy out here, and I'm going inside. I'll be honest. So, thank you. Oh, mark your calendar. June 23rd is the August 23rd is the next Zoom call. August 23rd. And I've already updated the first post in the Ravelry thread, so it's correct. It's correct about every other month, but it's correct. So August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 11 Pacific Time, which is 3 Prince Edward Island Time. And I don't even know, in Europe, it's starting to get late. People have to go for dinner and, you know, go to bed. I mean, so time differences. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.